Forged from the love of liberty in the fires of hope and prayer. With boundless faith in our destiny, we solemnly declare. Side by side we stand, islands of the blue Caribbean Sea, this our native land. We pledge our lives to thee. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation.
Heavenly Father, we come before you at the start of this new day, giving thanks for life, for health, and the opportunity to serve through this station. We ask for your divine presence to guide us in all we do. Bless this broadcast, that it may be a source of inspiration, joy, and unity to all who tune in. Whether near or far, may our words uplift, our music heal, and our message bring light to those who need it most. We pray for our listeners, wherever they may be. Grant them strength for the day ahead, peace in their hearts, and success in all they put their hands to. Cover those traveling with your protection, and those at home with your comfort and provision. Lord, may everything we do bring honor to you and be a blessing to others. Guide our steps, bless our efforts, and let this station be a vessel of positivity and hope. In your name we pray. Amen.
Your voice, your soundtrack, your station. New Era TT Radio. NETT Radio.
Might sound lofty to you, and so you criticize, but condemnation and negative reviews only serve to energize. So-called friends will envy and jealous. Yes, not everyone could handle your progress, but when they try to kill my passion and desire, it does only fuel my fire. I go in and sing like sparrow. I need to be versatile, cast a spell like shadow. Oozing with gum and guile. You might feel like tipsy when I shuffle, flick back my head, just channeling the gypsy. At extempo, he real dread, so don't limit, don't try to dim it. Shape, structure, trim it. I remain gallant. They captain my talent, my love for the art is pure. I take it to every show to achieve my goal. Guide soul to the world. My intention is to elevate the art and to be the architect. Whoa, so younger generations can themselves and show it due respect. Put my abilities on display, and honor the greats along the way. Take a pinch from their experience and just add my sons. That's the impetus to chat my own cause. I go in and write like Stalin, Kitchener and Valentino, Calypso Rose, my darling. With fire plenty tempo, cause to them it's no fluke. History will report the genius of Duke High elegance. Look at the cloth, so no limit, don't try to dim it. Shape, structure or trim it, I remain gallant. They can't tame my talent. My love for the art is pure. I'll take it to any shore to achieve my goal. I saw to the world.
Wake up, rise up. It's the NETT Radio Breakfast Show, bringing you the energy, music and vibes to start your day right.
Well, as we start your day right here on the New Era TT Radio, Kaiso to the world. NETT Radio to the world. Good morning, everybody, wherever you may be. TNT, sweet TNT, that too. Neighbors in the Caribbean, our friends who are streaming all around the globe. Happy to have you here. The beautiful Twin Island Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. It's a beautiful day on the outside, so we give God thanks and praises for bringing us together for another day. And all that we do, dear God, let it be a blessing, honor to you. People, I'm yours truly, Sir Charles, in your company. And happy am I to be here with you on this lovely morning. Hope you guys had a good weekend. We're also streaming to you on our YouTube feed, Facebook, and to our friends and family out there at Kyle Caribbean. Good morning to everybody. Of course, this is the Get Up and Go. We welcome all of you to the Breakfast Show.
Wake up, it's a brand new dawn. The Breakfast Show got the vibes turned on. From Maracas Bay to the Savannah line, let's start the day in Caribbean prime. Oh, good vibes rolling through the air. The Breakfast Show, energy everywhere. We talk, we laugh, we make you think. Grab your doubles or your morning drink.
Hi, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Monday morning. It is September
15. 15.
1-5? Nah. Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. It is September 15th. Well, I used to have a girlfriend born September 15th, you know, because I'm October 15th and she was September 15th. Oh, I haven't seen or heard from that girl in
donkey years.
Donkey years. She migrated, I know. I know she migrated. I wonder how she's doing. Good morning, Miss September 15th. She used to be at Republic Bank. Wow.
Yeah, you give her a call later on now.
Who? We part badly, yes. We part not badly, but we weren't speaking to one another. You know, thing does go, young love does go.
Yes.
You know? Yeah. Anyway, good morning, Sir Charles. Good morning, good morning, Trinidad and Tobago, and good morning, listeners and viewers all over the globe. I struggle a lot of mornings to get up for the show, right? Well, in terms of not sleeping and so on. But this morning, I struggled further. I had every intention to be in St. James at 4 o'clock this morning, and I just couldn't make it.
Yeah.
When my alarm eventually went off at 5 o'clock, I said, well, to hell with that. No way I go and try to rush and get down there. You know, and then I got back up just before 6. I think I missed your first call, and then I got the second one. Anyway, we're here. We're happy to be in the land of the living. Condolences to those who would have lost loved ones, and happy birthday to a few special people. My cousin Sterling Stephen. Today's his birthday. He lives abroad. Brent Furman, who's a regular blogger on Facebook. I enjoy the posts coming out from Brent Furman. Georgiana McFarlane, who last position, Georgiana, were you CEO or acting CEO at Point 14 or San Fernando? Some one of those corporations. She used to be at the Port of Spain Corporation. I think she went as acting CEO at either Point 14 or San Fernando Corporation. Morning, Georgiana, and happy birthday. Alexandria Best David, Asha Edwards. Asha is someone whom I know also. Samantha She, Sophie McGregor, Joel Ramkisoon, Marlene Wong, lots of birthdays today. Anthony Tate, Victoria Hamilton, Theodora Warwood, and last and by no means least, a young man who has assisted me in more ways than one, and who was responsible for a team jersey that I had, and also for me attending the Pakistan versus West Indies game. The son of our very good friend, Gaylan's son, Randy Mahes. Randy Adrian Mahes is celebrating his birthday today. I hope he's listening to the show. Well, once he's with his mother, he has no choice. So morning and happy birthday, Randy.
Yeah, happy birthday, Randy. Have a great day, and good morning, Gayly.
Yeah, morning, Gaylan. Morning, Gaylan. I know that you're locked on. You're on our next boss. You know what we're talking about. The slick and the wicked.
The slick and the wicked. The slick and the wicked.
Yes. I had some birthdays over the weekend too, you know, that I needed to make sure and greet a couple people. Over the weekend was, let me just get them. Jamila Hazeland Reed Cato, she celebrated her birthday over the weekend. Sep Harry, also over the weekend. Clint Chantak, who is a member of the media, and Nigel Tyrell Reed also celebrated his birthday over the weekend. John Gill, our good friend in the media too, from I-95, he celebrated his birthday over the weekend too. And Adrian David Tapp, they all celebrated birthdays over the weekend. So happy belated birthday greetings.
Belated birthday, man, to John and everybody else, man.
Yes. So those are my greetings for today on the holiday. And a special good morning to a few people, because I went to Richard's play last evening.
Yes.
My son and I actually are surprised he said yes. He went, well, at the last minute I asked him, and he said, let's go. My son is so that boy have barely any emotion, you know.
Serious?
So yeah, I saw my sister was there, and her daughter Aisha, and Angus Eve, former national football coach, and his mom. They were all there, and so we all sat together, all the way down in front. And I ended up meeting, when I was going out for the break, I met two guys. Ken Wright, who's an attorney at law, who listens to us. Morning, Ken Wright. And this guy was smiling and looking at me. And then he extended his hand to me. I didn't know him. But I didn't hear him speak. If I heard him speak, I would know who it was. Right. And then he said, Far Rockaway. I said, what? I said, you in Trinidad? I said, does Richard know you're here? He said, no. I said, well, we had to do a picture. But apparently he left a little early because he had some emergency. So we didn't get to take that picture after. Oh. But it was so, but I see why they call him Big Guy. He is so more than Far Rockaway, and it was a pleasure finally meeting you, because I know you came to Rumbox one time to meet me and we didn't meet up. So good morning, and happy to meet, to put a face on a body structure to the person who we have on the show. And I also met Miss Dabadi, Valerie Mendoza, who I ate. She brought sweetbread for me.
Sweetbread?
Yeah, she brought for Richard too. So
Dabadi's a good one, man. Dabadi's a good one.
Yeah, Charmaine from New York was also there. And Zena. So we all took a picture. Of course, I shared it in the group because you asked if I went to play. So I shared the evidence that I was at the play and that all these people were at the play too. And a lot of people, the play was packed yesterday. You understand? We thoroughly enjoyed ourselves. Of course, people laughed non-stop. Richard didn't lie. They laughed, they laughed, they laughed. You understand? So it was a pleasure finally meeting all these folks last night at what is you don't leave foul to watch court.
Yeah, at least you get the right name today.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll go to Bear Bacchanal.
Yeah, get the right name today.
I thought that play had some aspects of my life, but no, that had real Bacchanal. My life didn't. Well, my life had Bacchanal. Anyway, enough talk for the moment about it. When Richard comes in, hopefully we'll talk a little more, because they all went backstage to meet Richard after. We all went backstage to meet Richard after, and so he was happy. We took some pictures also.
Yeah,
Right?
so I'm happy everybody who came in and stuff. Good morning, Shami. And she's probably sleeping all now. You know, when you're away from your normal place, when you're in somewhere else, you're sleeping all day, you know.
Right, Shamin, I have to tell you, you're younger than the last time I see you. I have to tell you that. I don't know what you're doing out there in New York, or who's responsible for that look, but I'm sure, well, you know, all your independent woman. I have myself looking sick. But
she's just a jolly person. I mean, you're looking at the pictures. I mean, she's just like all smiles in all the pictures, you know.
She has an energy, boy. She has an energy, a personality that really is engaging and endearing and so lovely, you know what I mean? And of course, she meet up with Zena, you understand? And of course, they both met.
Well, Zena must be sleeping all now.
Yeah, they both met Miss Davide for the first time too, you know, so who has a beautiful energy too. Oh, breakfast show people. nice people.
Yeah, and it's nice to know, you know, mediums like these bring people together.
Yes.
It's really fantastic, you know? Yeah.
So let me greet the people in the chat. And then
hold on. I think we have some good news first.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. So let's do good news, and then we'll greet the people in the chat.
Yeah. Nice.
Woo! A party going on there.
Trinidadians could party, yeah?
What? You know, man. Like a real party.
I was closing of Carrie Festa, wasn't it?
Yeah, so and in Barbados, I think it was this year.
Yes.
And that was I I think what they call it island night. So I think like everybody had their nights to showcase their talents, or our artists were there and stuff for that. Yeah.
All right,
So
beautiful.
they had a rollicking time in between there. They could go show off when they're ready.
Yeah. All right. So that was our good news segment.
That was our good news for today. Yeah. Carrie Festa and the Trinidad and Tobago troop. Okay.
Now we get to greet the people in our chat.
Now you get some more good news.
Let me try to go through that as quickly as possible this morning. Susan Jessup at 2:59 a.m. Good morning. And that's from Susan, Suzette, and Miss Gemma. Far Rockaway back in the chat. Good morning from beautiful TNT. Eunice Dublin. Ava Smith. Good morning. Richard Wendell and St. Charles. Brennan Smith. Good morning. Marcia Rock from Orlando, Florida. Wendy Ann and Frank and myself. From Frank and myself. Wendy Ann and Frank James says, have a wonderful week. Marlon Motley. Julia Batiste. Michael Cadet. Boy B. Daisy from Debe. Diane Payne. Odell Guy. Carol Guevara. Ann Noel. Says, morning to you and have a wonderful new week. Have a fantastic day from Oshawa, Ontario, Canada. Was there some situation in Oshawa, Ann Noel? Was that where the immigrant strike, not strike, but the immigrant protest took place? But they were more there was an anti-immigrant and a pro-immigrant protest in Canada. I think it was Oshawa. Garfield Hazel says, good morning. Robert Taylor, Juliet Sherwin and Juliet Kerr, Margaret Thomas, Valerie Mendoza, of course, Miss Davide, thanks for the bread.
Hey, you wake up early?
And the pool. I had the sweet bread already, I have to tell you. I'm going to have the bake this morning. Norris Ferguson, Mary Grant, Pearl Cordis, Pearl and Stacy and Cordis from Brazil Village, Joanne Cybus, Rain Ramsey, Gavin Frank, Carl Guevara, Kaiser to the world, Paulina, Scotty and Charles, good morning to the breakfast crew. Wishing everyone a wonderful and safe and special morning to Arlene out there in Bronxville, Texas. Doreen Pierre, Hilary Zan, Rain in Sylvester, Patricia Defoe, Mrs. R, of course, Virgo women are the best, Wendell. Well, when I see you in Rumbox, I will talk to you. Joyce Phillip, Debbie Modest, Bernadette Yates, Bernadette and Alicia Yates says good morning. Magic also says good morning. Carl Guevara, yes, we most certainly are the best. So Carl is Virgo too. Evans David, Edwin Joseph, Ambrose Blah from New York, Carl Guevara, morning, Ken Wright, long time no see. I see him every now and then, but he was at the play last time. Far Rockaway, I'm coming back to Rumbox to look for you, Wendell, this week. I think that lady's planning to come Friday, so you're most welcome. But if you can't make it Friday, you come back. I understand you have a little time still in the country. Slick Money Grip, Michael Grand, Sankofa says, neighbor Mendoza, I love sweet bread and butter. Beautiful graces, beautiful and bountiful graces. Alistair Hart, Philomena Ali, Sankofa say what Wendell say on air. Oh, Kenny in Harlem, Marva Williams, Sherma Paul, CJ from New York. Who these people? Oh, they get a birthday. Good morning, everyone. Do have a wonderful day. Much love. Diane Payne, are people who give the world so much and still put in party before country. Trinidad Margot, Trini in Boston. Oh, how could I forget? She was the first person to approach me last night.
I see. It was, well, they had a rollicking time, but we had plenty foreigners inside.
Trini in Boston, my apologies, because you know why? She was sitting way over on the other side, where my sister and them were. And she heard my sister or my niece mention the name Wendell. So I understand she leaned over and asked, well, who Wendell is that? And they told her. And she came across where I was. So born in Trinidad and Boston, she was also at the show. Sorry I didn't see her after, so that we could have gotten a picture with you.
Yeah, I see her. I'm sure my Paul and all, but she and all was at the show. She said she's still laughing.
She said that in the chat?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let me finish the chat. Marlene Saunders Sobers, Carol Guevara, I love the good news video. So Charles, where can I get the whole video? I guess on YouTube. Sankofa say I hear the national instrument, the steel pan, but I did not see it. Yeah, it's there, always there. Lennox Francois says good morning from Baltimore. Ian Phillips, Robert Harper, Maureen Dilchan Maharaj. Long time you've been in the chat, Maureen. Nice to have you back. Yes, Virgo women are the best. Ooh, anti-Virgo women, yeah. It's trouble, yes. So those are the people in the chat. So Charles, you have any greetings?
Yes, I do. And let me correct myself. I made a mistake there. It wasn't Sherba Paul. Sherba Paul's son, grandson, I'll get there just now, is celebrating his birthday today. Right. Her grandson, Cristiano, he's 7 years old, getting ready for school. So we're wishing Cristiano a happy birthday today. Go there and
Cristiano.
Yeah. And it is Sandra Seret that was telling me that she enjoyed the play and she's still laughing. So my mistake in between there. So let me say good morning to all the people on the WhatsApp chat. So good morning to Kent in Lavantil, Terry and Peters out there in Mova. Good morning to you. Fifi in Ethiopia, good day. And of course, Fifi was our People's Choice in Happy Sundays yesterday. Archbishop Ashton Clark in Canada. Mahi and her team, that's a whole flight attendant. Could they actually in Trinidad now? Yeah. You know, they spend the weekend in Trinidad. They stop over. Carlin in Carenage on his way to work. Captain Ron, good day to you in Orlando. Mr. Beeps in Maraval, in Pity Valley, sorry. Good morning to you. Frank in Aruka. Slick Money Grip. Horatio is here also, as Brenda in Pinal, Sandra, Sherma, and Zena. Yeah, all those people are up with us very early this morning. So we thank you so much.
Yeah. And of course, a new name that just joined the chat too, Neil Kellart, said, Grand Rising, my brothers, more life, good health. That's a new name also. All right. And of course, Patrick Billy is in the YouTube chat this morning. Morning, Mr. Billy. So those are all.
Mr. Billy, good morning to you. I don't know how I missed your greeting also. Yeah. Right. So people, we are going for a quick break and we will be back. So stay with us here on Net Radio.
Don't miss Furniture Plus Inventory Blowout Sale. Get up to 65% off in-store and online. Enjoy massive savings on furniture, appliances, and more. Hurry, this deal won't last. Shop now and save big at Furniture Plus.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Charmflair Auto Services Limited, your one-stop auto repair shop, located at number 1 Industrial Lane, Charmflair, right opposite the brewery on the Eastern Main Road. Yes, we do it all. Repairs to all makes and models, from your everyday sedan to SUVs, light trucks, pickups, and panel vans. We're also the sole distributors of Davanti tires, certified VTS inspection station, plus a wide range of services: oil change, front end and suspension repairs, tune-ups, tire alignment, batteries, electrical work, radiator and cooling system, AC repairs, and accessories galore. We offer pickup and drop-off service too. Call us today at 662-6545 or 662-6572. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Charmflair Auto Services Limited, number 1 Industrial Lane, Charmflair. We do it all.
Advertise with us on New Era TT Radio, the fastest growing streaming platform for talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Audio and video ads welcome. Elevate your brand with us. Connect with us at newerattradio@yahoo.com or call us at 299-5156. Now what are you waiting for?
Okay, so we are back, and we thank all those folks for being here with us on the net and also on Gary TV, right? We thank them very much. And if all in for the Spain this morning, all they go and check out Manos, make sure they get all their breakfast.
Well, this morning the line my manos will be long. Mondays normally the lines are long because nobody had time to cook on Monday morning. It's hustle. So yes, go by Manos and just say the breakfast show sent me. All right.
Yeah. When you reach my Mano, that is exactly what we wanted to do. He's on Park Street, right on Park and St. Vincent Street here in that area.
Yes.
Yeah, you can't miss him.
You can't miss.
The breakfast show sent you for either breakfast, and you can make breakfast with lunch.
Yeah, you might actually see a line outside on the pavement. That is where Manos is.
A real cooking family, you know.
Yes, for that, for that. But he's such a nice guy too, you know. He's such a personable guy, you know. Not everybody designed for that kind of business, but Manos is. He definitely is. Morning, Rena Buru Jennings, who just joined us on the chat. Special good morning to you, my dear. And to all who listening, especially those at Chatroom Auto, Furniture Plus, Amjad Ali, but Amjad never misses this show. And Kavita, all of those at Furniture Plus and the other agencies that have joined the breakfast show. Thank you so much for joining what is inarguably the best show on radio. I know Richard say you have choices, and I disagree with him. I don't think you have any, because if you know how I feel about this show, right? You know, right? Okay. So good morning and thanks. What else do I have? Well, we had to get in the newspapers. Let's get newspapers.
Yeah, so let's see what is in the news.
The news was hot these last few days. Oh Lord! And that story about the Venezuelan defense minister issuing that threat, of course, direct threat to Trinidad and Tobago, will form the basis of our poll this morning. You understand? Because it must be worrying that this thing is not, how I should put it, simmering, not dying, not cooling down. It's heating up, you know, and it's not good. Reduced to rubble. That's one of the headlines in today's Express. 14 Venezuelan nabbed on beach. TKR pushed into CPL eliminator because, of course, we lost over the weekend. Venezuela's defense minister warned Trinidad and Tobago, you will receive a response. Very, very threatening and ominous words. Beloved cyclist killed in crash in Cuba. That was a very sad story. Young driver killed in highway crash into tow truck. Butcher, time for York to go, and that's Ken Butcher, said time for coach Dwight York to go. Venezuela accuses U.S. Navy destroyer of hostile boarding of tuna boat. Those are all stories trending in today's Express. And apparently there were lots of accidents over the
a lot of accidents. I don't know. Mr. Batson must be holding his head and saying, oh gosh, what else I need to do, boy?
Yeah, boy. Yeah.
He there all the time, and you know the amount of accidents I read about. Sometimes I was wondering if it's the same accident I read about. A different one. You know?
Yeah.
Cyclists, people run off the road and run into people. You know, it was just terrible. Anyhow, so let me tell you what's going on in the Guardian. PM vows to expose forex cartels, pushes for law to make central bank release allocations. ACP condemns U.S. over illegal assault on Venezuelan fishing boat. Suspect uses Homeland Security Minister's name in Store Bay arrest. I must know this. I'm a family, you know. Anyhow. Fired CPEP contractors beg for money owed. 3 months I haven't paid my mortgage. I suppose that's one of the contractors. Parry slam government's handling of CPEP and URP layoffs. And I mean, the government is getting a good bashing for that right now. Cyclists, young motorists killed in weekend crashes. And there's a new call for the CJ. CJ Archie faces fresh calls to step down. Tobago police seized $0.6 million in illegal firearms. Yeah. And pensioner found murdered in Bacalet, Tobago. They have plenty of other stories. They got full of stories today.
Yeah.
Full of stories.
So today's Newsday, Trinidad Newsday today. These are the stories that are trending. Lady Gypsy's benefit concert for Errol Inns flops. Regional Assembly denounces U.S. raid on tuna boat. BIGU, that's the union, to take government to court over URP dismissals. We're not taking that. A joyful homecoming in Carolina. Legal opinion raises doubt over Jack Warner's extradition case. That story is just not ending. Judiciary head seeks to put house in order as law term opens. And there's a question, Archie to resign as CJ. That's a question. Sipario residents fearful after PM's show of support for the US. Of course, those are all stories trending in today's Newsday. And we'll get into a few of them. So this morning we have Edy Stewart as our guest, who will talk about some issues in the health sector. And hopefully we'll raise the issue of Dr. Roshan Parashram, the story that he was being forced to resign. Tomorrow, we will have Marvin Gonzalez, attorney and chairman of the PNM, who will give PNM's perspective on the voting against that constitutional amendment bill, constitution bill that allows, I think, grandparent bill, they're calling it. He will give the PNM reason for voting against it. And of course, on Wednesday, we'll have Mariano Brown, who will touch on that Forex story, because they actually released some names. I don't know if you saw, I sent it in the chat.
Yeah.
Forex. But I got another side of that story, of course, from Viash Nanal, who used to be a co-host with us, and who said that represents 6% of the Forex users. So the article was misleading into saying that they were the main Forex users. They actually only about 6% according to Viash.
That list that they put out there?
Yes, and they were mostly people who did food. You understand? And so that's how they came about. How that list came about. So I said that's an interesting perspective. So I'm sure Mariano will cover all of that on Wednesday. All right.
Yeah, but they have real people consuming real Forex. Yeah, so the money going out and the money not coming back.
Yeah, well, I saw another post from Miss Balbir Singh, Mary Balbir Singh, this morning too. That it's the article makes she didn't say it makes no sense, but she said it doesn't give the clear picture because there are Forex earners also. The article does not cover that, and as I say, it's a lot of I don't know why they would have named these people, because the central bank governor said it wouldn't happen. So somebody leaked something, I'm sure. You understand? And because the prime minister said to expose them. They can't do people that. But anyway, we'll get into that on Wednesday. So we have an interesting week lined up for you all. Let me just greet some other people in the chat. Chris Tusse, morning. Sharon, well, she have Franix here, but I believe it's Francis. Also, that's a new listener. Good morning, good guys, good program. Melchizedek and Donna Ramlochan also joined us. All right. So.
You mentioned a story about the benefit for lady for Errol Inns.
Errol Inns, yes.
I don't know why they would put such a crude headline for something like that.
Well, what happened? I didn't even know about it.
No, I didn't know anything about it. But I just listened to the headline. Lady Gypsy benefits, something like that, flops, for Errol Inns. So why would that make a headline like that, boy? I just don't understand, because of the fact that she went out there to try to do something to help. He needs help, like so many of our artists as they get older. Whereas as in today's world, some artists are making a decent living from the entertainment, but a lot of those persons who pioneered, they were just outside there. They didn't make that kind of money, to sustain them all these years. That after they have put their life into this thing,
Yeah.
I just find that I find the headline was kind of cruel. Yeah.
I don't know about the story at all. I just saw it, and because none of the other newspapers carried it. You know.
Yeah, but going back to the that whole situation over the weekend, I mean, like, people really need to take their time on the roads. The kind of accidents that you're hearing about and the amount of them that you're hearing, a lot of fatal accidents, and besides the fatalities, there are a lot of accidents that people get injured that you don't hear about.
Yes.
So it's a lot. So we need to take our times on the road. Why we speeding so much? I don't know.
Driving recklessly.
Even some back road. I'm hearing something the other day over the weekend. This man with a wing road in some off the road, back road kind of way. Like in Central or somewhere, speeding on the back road, lose control of the car, run into this 89-year-old man. The man in hospital or kind of thing now. I was just standing up outside the back of the car, went to get something.
Right.
And this is not even a normal main road or highway. You're speeding in those areas, I don't know. We're just not getting it.
Nope. And of course, we're gonna try to get a guest to touch on the issues of the escalating tension between Trinidad and Tobago and Venezuela, because I don't understand why, because the Minister of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs said there's no problem, there's no tension between us. But clearly there is. Clearly on the Venezuelan side there is. You know what I mean? So we have to find out what's going on there. If we could probably try to get a guest from Venezuela. Yesenia Gonzalez, I haven't seen or heard from her in a while.
I've been trying to get a number for her for a while,
Yeah. So just find out.
I just find it strange that it seems that that their guns are being trained on us. Yeah, I don't know. I can't recall if I'm hearing them. Maybe I'm not hearing it. Maybe they're talking to the US in the same way too. But the kind of threats that they are leveling at us.
Well, they threatened the US and the Guyana also too,
But as I said, maybe I'm not hearing it.
Yeah. There was an article about I think it was the Venezuelan Vice President, Delcina Rodriguez, who warned Trinidad, Guyana, and the US military about their actions against Venezuela. Because as I told people, I don't know that people feel that Maduro just sitting down twiddling his thumbs, I'm sure he is putting things in place to retaliate if the need arises. I'm sure. You understand?
When you're seeing videos circulating with civilians are being armed and trained now.
Yes. I sent one of those videos in the chat.
Yeah.
With that, But we'll try to get some more into that programming over some more of that information during the course of this week. All right. And of course, you're all welcome. If you have the information, you could send it to us, or if you have a suggestion of someone that we can speak with. All right. In Guyana, they have put together a new cabinet over the last few days. So congratulations to the Irfan Ali government and their new cabinet. One of whom I actually know. I met once a young man who is now a new minister in Guyana. I met him through a mutual friend, and he's now a new minister in Guyana. So congratulations to young Minister Griffith. All right. So let's open the lines now, Sir Charles, and take some calls. The kind of thing, he was blocked from commenting from YouTube. I said, well, that had nothing to do with us.
Who's that?
Lincoln. He private messaged me now that he wasn't, his comments wasn't.
Sometimes people are saying that, but we have no control. We have not really gone out there and blocked anybody. So
no, we have no. I told him
especially somebody like you, Lincoln. Nah, we wouldn't block you.
Yeah. When you send a dozen messages in 2 seconds, we can't block you.
Let me say good morning to Howard at Fats International. He's locked on this morning also in Arriba there, and he said he went on taking the show on Saturday.
Okay.
All right, so the lines are open to you people. You can call us now at 281-1315.
I'm seeing a message here from Joanne Tull. Real people spending Forex. Forex use is a two-way street. a country should be producing commodities that would attract forex exports. Is that being done sufficiently? Focus should be on that too. Is this the Joantal I met in the line at El Pecos? I think that was what the person said her name is. Morning, Mr. If that's you. Nice to have you in the chat.
Yeah, but that is a major part of the thing, because it seems that we buying, but we're not exporting and selling enough. Either we're not selling, or the people here selling and leaving the money outside. You know.
Hello.
Good morning.
Morning.
Hello.
Mr. Grant.
Good morning, Mr. Grant.
Yeah, how are you all?
We are great.
No question. Wendell, listen, I read in the papers yesterday where Mr. Anizet made a statement concerning the government in 2010 or PNM run out everybody. That is something happened. They are lying. In 2010, when you went to win, I was working in Mount Hope because I retired. I was doing plumbing down there. In 2 days' time, they come in with cutlass, they supported with cutlass and run out all the workers. And
cutlass, you say, no?
Yeah.
They come by telling you went down.
And that is where?
In Mount Hope, Region 3. By Mount Hope Hospital there. But he is saying the PM run out the people in 2 days. That was it, a lie in the papers yesterday. No. All the workers there got money. Experiment, ex-police, Mr. Seabury, remember that name. He was the manager at the time. They took them to court. Because everything is flipping the script and one of the PNM do that and run the workers out, which is a black balance lie. I've seen Mr. Farah Masaya right now on side, right, talking, but they cry him to court. So if you, and is that, if he's singing for his supper. And
all right, okay, Mr. Grant. Mr. Grant, despite everything, I don't want you to get reckless with your comments.
Yeah. And Izet was one of the first people who criticized this government for what they would have done in terms of workers and so on. But he's gone quiet, but he was one of the first.
Yeah, and sometimes people misinterpret what is actually being said, too, and we have a lot of people just turn it around to suit themselves.
Yeah.
Mr. Patrick, good morning.
Yes, Sir Charles. Morning. Sir Wendell, morning.
Morning, Mr. Patrick.
Morning.
I'm sleeping this morning.
When we listen to the Venezuelan general and all, he made a statement about Trinidad and Guyana. Sometimes we have to understand when people having a war or people having some kind of upheaval or something, we have to be careful about the things we say, Nice? We have a prime minister here, and she pushing fire by. You understand? We have to be careful with his speech. The young man that got assassinated in the States, I read one other thing. The man had a speech problem. He said anything how he wanted to say it. And it was vexing people. Sometimes we just talk things to vex people. We have to talk things to make peace. Nice? And I hope that nothing happen outside, because Friday I was telling some people, we're right on the brink of the whole thing right here. You understand? You're right there. So we have to watch this speech and not to escalate things, but to try to help tone down things. That's all I have to say. Pleasant morning.
I think anybody will disagree with what you said there, Mr. Patrick.
Yeah, but then again, too, they need to put the fire where it is deserving. Don't just pelt it at us alone. Hello, good morning. Good morning to you, caller.
Hi, morning to Charles and Wendell.
Good morning to you, sir.
Charles, I was looking at this Venezuela issue. People talking about.
You can sit down the volume on the TV a little bit.
The war that is imminent. But they fail to realize that only people.
Yeah, caller, if you could take down the volume on the television or whatever you're listening to a little bit.
Yeah, the only people
Right.
who don't know that the reason why America is in the Caribbean waters is because they want a regime change in Venezuela and also they want the oil. Why everybody just feel is narco traffickers which are trying to get rid of. Ecuador is one of the biggest exponents of narco trafficking. There's no washing outside the territorial waters. Why? Why we fooling ourselves in Trinidad, even the Prime Minister and all, believing that America is here for narco trafficking? It is Venezuela oil they want, and they want a regime change. And it's not going to happen so easily because China has interest in Venezuela and they're going to protect their interest. Likewise, Russia. Because almost about 90% of Venezuela oil goes to China and Russia. And this is what has the American peeved. Okay?
Yeah. Yes, nobody would. I think a lot of people would agree with exactly what you just said.
Thank you very much, caller. People 281-1315, 281-1315. You can give us a call. You can chat in on the conversation. I mean, like, I think everybody, has that feeling that, there's a bigger picture, something taking place here.
Yeah.
People may not directly see, or the leading players, I should say, would not really give us their main intention outside there. But people are watching. They're watching how things are developing. They're looking at other areas, how you treated with other areas, and how you're treating with this one. So people will have their own perceptions as to what they feel it is, and I guess only time will tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My issue with what we are saying in Trinidad and Tobago is that at the end of America is not going to stay there forever. They're going to go eventually. Venezuela ain't going a place. The people, even if America succeeds in regime change in Venezuela, it don't mean the people who are loyal to Maduro go in a place. They'll still be there. They will still be there, and they will be bitter, and they will be angry right across the road. You don't want that stress for Trinidad and Tobago. I don't know. The US can't protect us all the time. And yes, DL, I agree with you that without the US being our allies, Venezuela may have plundered 20 decades. That's probably true. You understand? But the US can't do everything for us. We have to do for our own. And when you commit our military to retaliating or coming to the defense of Guyana, how are you doing that? Our military come to the defense of Guyana? How are we doing that?
Caller, good morning to you.
Good morning to Charles and Wendell.
Morning. Dick Martin.
I am here. I saw this article where Israel can asking the CJ to resign.
Again?
Israel can still trying. You know how long Israel can trying to get the Chief Justice to be removed? It's like a vendetta with Israel Khan. I say, but what is this? Is he really out of place? I mean, come on, man. I want to tell him, Israel Khan, the Chief Justice is like Denise Plummer. He not leaving. So you better accept it, and he will stay there until his time of retirement. You'll have a good morning.
Okay, no problem.
How long are the Chief Justice there? 10, 15
A long
years?
time. A long time.
A long time. And he's withstood so many attacks. And then I wonder how he deals with it, My God.
But remember, and the Chief Justice came in as a young man.
Yeah.
He was only the youngest Chief Justice we ever had.
Yeah.
The DPP might be there, might be like that too, you know. These are two.
Yes.
They've been there for a long time. Yeah. Good morning to you, caller.
A blessed good morning to you, Sir Charles, Wendell, and Richard, wherever you are, probably tired potting. I'm just calling just to say, and again, what went on, what the ministers from Venezuela is saying. That didn't surprise me at all. Our borders are open. I'll repeat that over and over. These ministers of Trinidad and Tobago, they have security round the clock, 24/0. We, the people, the citizens, are like sitting dogs just waiting. I am not surprised. I wouldn't be surprised, but we probably don't have people inside there already just waiting to just get the S, and it's a whole 1990 again. Understand? That is one. The next thing, and I'll be quick with it, the Forex is nothing surprising because it have banks that just have people putting in Forex, for example, a US account. And one time you, the citizen, want to go and say, all right, but I don't have X amount of dollars. I'm going to see if I can get $500 or $600 or $1,000 from it. You can't still get it because why? We don't have the Forex. I said, but oh yeah, that is my account. It have US in it. Why can't I get my money? No, they don't have enough US. All they could get is $50 or $100. Madness. I don't know. This US thing is not surprising. It's only a certain people like this get Forex a certain amount, and other people hard luck. When they go inside, they hard luck, yes. But gentlemen, as usual, great program. And are you concerned about the new directive threat with Venezuela to Trinidad and Tobago? Yes, I am. Because at the end of the day, we Trinidad and Tobago have to watch what's going on. Our PM that's bumping, she come and just talking how she wanted to because she has security around the clock. Our borders are open, anybody could just run in. And as Don said already, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't have people here already just waiting for the S. And as he just said, go ahead, attack with full force, that is the day. Couple smoke pipe.
Yeah.
But anyway, gentlemen, have a blessed day.
Yeah, thanks very much. So if you have that kind of in Trinidad and Tobago, well, then our intelligence not working at all.
That's what, but I don't doubt what Suzanne is saying, because the Maduro not just sitting down waiting. He is going to be putting things in place.
Yeah, but to the point where, you know, it's like, all right, fellas, all rise up out of the ground and go and just topple the government of Trinidad and Tobago. May believe that going to happen. So, but tell them the poll now.
Let's hope it doesn't reach to that.
Yeah.
So our poll is up, people. Are you concerned about the new direct threat from Venezuela to Trinidad and Tobago? There was a direct threat made over the weekend. If you could just put yes or no in your poll, we'd appreciate it.
Yes.
Start your comment by saying yes or no. You can't comment because your comments aren't necessarily sometimes for us to read, but for other people to see. We appreciate that. You understand? But if you could put your yes or no at the beginning of the poll, right? Because everybody reads the comments. So we don't want to curtail the comments. We just want your vote. We'd appreciate that, right?
All right. Final call as you go up to the news. Hello, good morning.
Am I limited? Good morning, Norfolk, Virginia, front and center. Am I only limited?
You have a whole minute and a half.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, good. Just quickly here. Wendell, good morning to you. You know what? From now on, I call in you Hugh. Your name is Hugh. You remember Hugh Hefner? Playboy. You're the only man who can call your girlfriends by the month that they were born. So look as though you could easily count 12. Mr. T. Come on. Hey.
That's man playing on radio.
Hey, by the way, Sir Charles, who won the one of ours from this morning, good morning to you. One of ours won the show yesterday, won the what you call it? Sappy Sunday?
Yeah, I will send it to you later on.
Okay. I know you pressed for time, but you know what? I crunched for time, but I had something else I wanted to, some sentiment about the marches you saw. But listen, 1 million people, 1 million, and I was invited to London next March. 1 million people voted. It's not anti-immigrant, It's anti-not proper immigration procedures these people going against. They're not racist or nothing. New Zealand, Australia, people speaking out now. So they're not anti-immigrant because guess what? They'll be against me too. and others. Anyway, hey, I'll talk to you guys later. And thank you, Sir Hugh, for that insight into your into your life. But anyway, you guys take care. Good morning. God bless. Cheers.
All right. Thank you.
One of these days I'll call all the names.
And get in real trouble. Anyhow, people, we are going for the news. Continue to vote on the poll, and we will be back in a little bit.
The news you need, the clarity you deserve. Local, regional, global. This is Net Radio News Now.
This is News Now on New Era TT Radio and Guile Caribbean. I'm Derek. Former Finance Minister Colm Imbert says he's concerned about reports that the 2025 to 2026 national budget could carry a deficit as high as $15 to $20 billion. Speaking after the PNM's General Council meeting in San Fernando, Imbert reminded that Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar had promised a balanced budget, but is now preparing another deficit fiscal package. He warned that if the figure crosses $4 to $5 billion, about 2 to 5% of GDP, the country's debt could skyrocket, as local banks are already overexposed to government borrowing. Imbert also questioned whether the projected deficit includes promises such as wage increases and billions in back pay, which could push the gap even higher. He added, "I thought they had all the answers, but let's hope the rumors aren't true." Pharmaceutical and chicken companies have topped the list of foreign exchange users who accessed the Exim Bank's special forex window since 2020. Documents reveal that from 2020 to mid-2025, the Exim Bank distributed $1.4 billion to 123 companies under its Essential Imports program. The top recipients were Aventa Trinidad and Tobago, formerly Smith Robertson, with over $100 million. Nutrimix Feeds with $178 million and Arawak with $176 million. Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar has ordered a full report on forex allocations, promising to expose what she calls cartels that control access. A new Exim Bank board is set to be appointed this month to shake things up and give small and medium-sized businesses fairer access. The Children's Authority of Trinidad and Tobago is urging citizens to open their hearts and homes as applications for foster care decline. Foster Care Unit Manager Anjuli Tawari says there is a pressing need for families willing to provide safe, temporary homes for children, especially babies, teenagers, siblings, and those with special needs. Right now, there are 160 children in foster care, including 48 placed with relatives. But Tawari admits she is forced to turn down requests daily because there are not enough foster families. One woman answering the call is media professional Natasha Jones, who fostered a baby for 2 years during the pandemic. Jones admits the process was challenging, but says it gave a struggling family time to heal, while her own community gained valuable lessons. The authority is encouraging more families to step forward to give children a safe space while their parents rebuild their lives. A confidential legal opinion has cast serious doubt on the decade-old extradition case against former FIFA Vice President Jack Warner. The opinion, prepared by a senior counsel for the Attorney General, found that Warner's extradition was tainted by non-compliance with local law and misrepresentation. It concluded that the state's claim of a special arrangement with the United States never existed, despite repeated assurances to the courts. The advice said proceeding with extradition would be unlawful, an abusive process, and could expose the state to damages. Warner, now 81, has lived under the threat of extradition since 2015 on U.S. corruption charges. The High Court will rule later this month. A Special Reserve Police officer is being questioned in connection with the death of SRP Jamal Charles, who was fatally shot on duty Thursday at the Ministry of Rural Development and Local Government in Marival. Police say Charles and 2 other officers were inside a guard booth when 2 began playing with their firearms. A shot went off, striking Charles, who died on the spot. Charles, a married father of one from Petite Valley, was remembered as a committed family man. Local government minister Khadija Amin extended condolences and said Homeland Security Minister Roger Alexander has assured a full investigation. Finally, internationally, British boxing legend Ricky Hatton has died at the age of 46. Police say he was found at his home in Greater Manchester on Sunday, but his death is not considered suspicious. Hatton, known to fans as the Hitman, won 45 of his 48 professional bouts during a 15-year career, facing some of the sport's biggest names, including Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Manny Pacquiao. Tributes have poured in. Former champion Amir Khan called him a friend, a mentor, and a warrior, while unified champion Ely Stewart said Hatton's impact on boxing will forever live on. Manchester City, his beloved football club, held a minute of appreciation for him during Derby with Manchester United. And that's news at this time.
That was news now. Stay informed with New Era TT Radio. Net Radio.
Your mid-morning just got better. Join Sir Charles for the mid-morning mix and mingle, where good music, real talk, health, and family matters come together, and your voice is heard. Whether you're at work, on the go, or just taking a break, this is the perfect mix to keep you engaged, informed, and entertained. The mid-morning mix and mingle, weekdays, 9 a.m. to 12 noon on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
Mornings just got better. You're locked into Net Radio Breakfast Show, fueling your day with the best music and real talk.
On around 1974, to a mother named Calypso, Junior appeared to be so much more. Over the years he began to grow, but like his grandfather Pacalinda and grandmammy Sweet Cariso, the family traits of little boy soca could I never hide me just so. He is the head of the fetting class, the heart of the carnival. He's the jumping legs in the mass, the waistline causing bacchanal. A mother's child feet just cannot hide, and this everybody know. If you look real deep down inside, soca is the soul of Calypso. Let me hear you. Calypso is soca, and soca is Calypso. Sister Chutney and brother Raga, also born here in Trinidad. So you don't have to look no further. I sure everybody don't know. If one spirit in child and mother, soca in the soul of Calypso. Let me hear you. Rampa dampa dampada, hey rampa dampa dampa, say rampa dampa dampada, rampa dampa dum dum. Rampa say when I dead, bury me close. Mommy say Santi Manite, soca sing bout Bahia girl, and take the Kong Fantastic Friday. While mommy down south in Skinner Park, soca in tongue in stink and dirty Juve. Say the both of them love to party in almost the very same way. Mommy love to be up in the tent while she's on jamming on radio. Mommy prefer a sit down event. The son love a truck on the road. Even though things about them might differ, it's one thing everybody know. If you're looking deep down inside, soca is the soul of Calypso. Let me hear you. Padam padam pada, hey ram padam padam. I tell a lie, ram padam padam. I tell no lie, padam padam bam. Look, soca grow up to be a big man. Now, almost 50 years old. His grandchildren set out and plan to be famous like him round the world. Looking back at all his years, on the things that he made us do, the grands have no doubts and no fears. They'll have the whole world doing it too. Moving to the left, moving to the right. Yes, balancing all night, feeling hot, hot, hot for slide. Dingo laying in shady light, from tying we head with cloth like Baptist to jumping and waving flag to and fro. Soca is a
fresh energy. This is the Net Radio Breakfast Show.
All right, everybody, and of course we welcome you back. We welcome you back to the Breakfast Show right here on New Era TT Radio. And of course, Gael Caribbean, we're happy to be here with you. And remember, people, we stream all day, every day on NewEraTTRadio.com, New Era TT Radio on TuneIn. So you get us on Alexa and, of course, your Google devices. You can get us there. To all the folks on our YouTube and Facebook feed, remember your next engagement is at 4 p.m. this afternoon. The Drive Time Exchange between 4 and 6 with Tony Fraser. So you can look out for that around that time. And while you are on our different sites, remember, hit our support button and support us because we need your support. It's very much important, right? So stay right where you are, and when we come back, actually continue to vote on the poll, and when we come back we will take your votes. Remember, yes or no first, and you can put your comments after that, right? So stick around, we will be back shortly.
Charm Flair Auto Services Limited, your one-stop auto repair shop, located at number 1 Industrial Lane, Charm Flair, right opposite the brewery on the Eastern Main Road. Yes, we do it all. Repairs to all makes and models, from your everyday sedan to SUVs, light trucks, pickups, and panel vans. We're also the sole distributors of Davanti tires, certified VTS inspection station, plus a wide range of services: oil change, front end and suspension repairs, tune-ups, tire alignment, batteries, electrical work, radiator and cooling system, AC repairs, and accessories galore. We offer pickup and drop-off service too. Call us today at 662-6545 or 662-6572. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Charm Flair Auto Services Limited, number 1 Industrial Lane, Charm Flair. We do it all.
Pay $1 down on hire purchase plans at Furniture Plus. Enjoy fast approval, low interest rates, and up to 36 months financing. Retirees, self-employed, and permanent employees apply today. Buy now, pay later with Furniture Plus credit plans. Conditions apply.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Advertise with us on New Era TT Radio, the fastest growing streaming platform for talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Audio and video ads welcome. Elevate your brand with us. Connect with us at newerattradio@yahoo.com or call us at 299-5156. Now what are you waiting for?
Oh yes, we are back.
We are back from 7 o'clock news. We are back, and if you this, I don't know if you've seen it. This is my new teacup from Charmaine. I collected a bag last night, a nice little gift bag. When I opened the gift bag, it had the paper stuffing in it. And then when I moved the paper stuffing, there was a box. And then when I opened the box, there was more stuffing. And then there was more stuffing and more stuffing and more stuffing until I came upon this teacup. It was well insulated inside of that package that Charmaine brought. It couldn't get a crack. What's it that stuffing and box?
Well secured, yeah.
What? Charmaine, thank you very much. This is a big teacup, though. It's from the Grand Central Terminal. Of course, Charmaine moved to the MTA out there. in New York. So this is a big teacup. So it matches my other smaller teacup that is also from New York City subway. All right. I don't know if you all seen it. Yeah, that's
I must realize when you're drinking your coffee, you just drink plenty coffee.
What she realizes is that when I do the program from different places, I'm not without her teacup. So she wanted to make sure wherever I go now, I will have her teacup showing. That's a clever way of ensuring, because she's noticed when I don't have her teacup in.
Well, that is it. So you see, and that is why, anyhow, go there. But yeah, that's why you can buy the spot, coffee people. You can buy the spot.
Yeah, right. we drink a lot. I mean, right now I'm drinking ginger tea. So I'm trying to drink a lot more ginger tea. I'm trying to mix it up from with the coffee, So even if you have a ginger factory too, you could advertise with us. We'll talk about it.
Once you're doing breakfast, come on, man. You can be here.
Yeah.
In this space. So give us a call, right?
All right. So let's get into the votes. You ready to come, Sir Charles? I'm sure we have plenty.
Yeah. I'm writing. Go ahead.
Right. Of course, our poll this morning was: are you concerned about the new direct threat from Venezuela to Trinidad and Tobago? Garfield Hazel said, of course. Michael Oliver said no. Josie Richardson, I missed that one, said yes. Helen Prescott, yes. Ila Rizan, yes. Eva Smith, yes. Lori, yes. I wonder if that's Lori. Marlon Motley also says yes. Melchizedek, yes. Carol Guevara, yes. Lennox Francois, yes. Suzanne Jessup, yes. Robert Taylor, yes. Bernadette Yates, yes. Finbar Collins, yes. Michael Cadet, yes. Cheryl Henry didn't vote here. Beauty Culture says yes. Eunice Dublin, yes. Cheryl Henry votes yes. Ian Stewart, no. Miguel Gonzalez, yes. David McCarthy, no. Shema Paul, yes. Joyce Phillip, yes. Diana Hamill, yes. Apollina's, yes. Rena Jennings, yes. Joanne Cyrus, yes. DL, no. Colton Finch, yes. Joseph Clement, yes. Wayne Ramsey, yes. Magic, yes. Lester Cragwell, yes. Alistair Hart, yes. Sharon Francis, yes. I'm saying Francis, although you spell it as Franix, right? And I suspect there was a spelling error there. We've been trying Gavin here for a little while in ODL, but we're gonna.
He's not good on mornings anymore, he says.
Yeah, he's not good with mornings. Kazim Mohammed, yes. CJ from New York, yes. Brennan Smith, yes. Ron DeSantis, yes. Diane Payne, yes. Right, Far Rockaway is responding to Wendy and Frank James, right? Kenny in Harlem, yes. Live Free K, yes. That's a new name. Yeah, it's a mug. Right, big mug. Susan Jessup already voted yes. Anthony Atwell, yes. Classic Brother, yes. James Kamau, yes. Debbie Mitchell, no. Marva Williams, yes. Estelita Sampson, yes. And Curtis Patrick, yes. Those are the votes I have, Sir Charles.
Okay. Woo.
You have any
votes? Yeah. I have to do some shifting around now to tell you about the votes on this side. All right. So on the WhatsApp, people, we are starting with Afria. So Afria says yes, and Kurt says yes. Brenda says yes. Horatio says yes. Judith in Tobago says yes. Black Pearl says yes. Valerie says yes. Miss Dabity. Captain Ron says yes. Sandra Serrett says yes. Fifi says yes. Mahi says yes. Junior says yes. And Zena says yes. Lincoln didn't vote in between. Any last minutes?
Yes, Jillian Small, who says that she's Big Guy's sister. All right. Welcome to the show, Jillian Small. She voted yes also.
All right. So we had right. So we had 64 people on the board of voting, and 59 said yes, and 6 said no. 5 said no. Sorry.
5 said no. All right.
5 said no. So
59
no.
people said yes, they are concerned, and 5 said no, they are not.
Yeah.
All right. Or Suzette said yes. You see, when the names come up, they look the same, you know. Suzanne and Suzette. So Suzette Jessup voted yes again. Yeah. So adding Suzette's vote. Thank you, Suzette, for the correction.
Suzette will be what? Yes or no?
Suzette will be
yes.
Also yes.
All right, so
I had said Suzanne
yes.
voted again, but it's Suzette.
Okay. Right.
It's a twin.
All right. So 60 saying yes and 5 saying no.
Yeah. All right. Of course, there's a video circulated. I don't know if you saw it, with the words of Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar talking about what she will do if Venezuela invades Guyana, and then with the military now. And then in that video, there was a soldier doing a twerk. I don't know if it's a twerk or a whine. I don't know what is he doing, but he hold on to the railings and he start a whine in full uniform. You didn't see it?
No, I didn't.
I can't show it. I don't
actually, if there was actually something being said that if they invade, what we will do.
Yes, the Prime Minister.
Yes.
She said something. There is a video with her speaking to the media in Trinidad about what she will do, what Trinidad and Tobago is expected to do if Venezuela invades Guyana. Yeah.
All right, we'll talk about that later on in detail. Let's see if we can get into our Let's Talk segment, because our guest is very busy.
Yes.
So. Okay. So we're here. Our guest is off camera with us today.
Well, he's off mic too. His mic is all right. There you go. There we go.
Pleasant morning, team. I trust you all are hearing me.
We are, but we are not seeing you. Any reason why?
It is
like,
there's my son. You understand? Hey.
Thanks for joining us.
Someone like you don't want people to see you. Hey.
Pressure. Oh, Lord.
Tell us about it. So you don't have to, eh?
No. These days are a little hectic for me.
What's going on in the health sector, Edy? I mean, I know you would have had a lot to say last week concerning some things that are happening in the health sector. If you could just apprise our listeners and viewers, please.
Well, how could I put it succinctly? It's just a continuation of a lack of foresight that we continue to experience as a developing country, as a young nation. A number of issues that can be dealt with quickly. Unfortunately, we take extremely long to put right. So what is transpiring right now is that for the past probably 10 years, TTRNA was lobbying the then government to ensure all nursing schools, all teachings that are directed towards nursing abide by the laws of Trinidad and Tobago, and that they are delivered in accredited and registered nursing schools. We had one particular school run by the Ministry of Education, which actually delivered the bulk of nursing programs. So you had from general psychiatry, all the specialized nursing courses and the nursing assistant course being delivered by the Ministry of Education. After over a decade of lobbying the government to do what the law requires, unfortunately, the association had to take the government to court, and the court agreed with us that school is operating illegally. It's not accredited. It doesn't have the proper oversight. So it mandated the school closure, and the ministry subsequently transferred those programs. Well, not the programs, they transferred the responsibility of those programs and all students and lecturers who were in the school over to COSTAATT. Now, COSTAATT now was required to develop courses, those similar courses, but in a format that could be registered and accredited with the Accreditation Council of Trinidad and Tobago, again, in compliance with the law. COSTAATT apparently would have sent these programs to ACTT, and also the Nursing Council of Trinidad and Tobago, which is the regulatory body for nursing, since they sent those courses for accreditation in February of 2024. So a year and a half ago, COSTAATT subsequently in November of 2024 got approval from the Accreditation Council. However, they did not get accreditation as yet to date from the Nursing Council of Trinidad and Tobago. This then led to COSTAATT probably saying, look, we need to get this course off the ground, and in fact advertised, interviewed, accepted students, and those students were set to begin their course of study on Monday last. Subsequently, the Nursing Council then wrote to the COSTAATT telling them, look, we have not given you approval of yet, basically cease and desist. So then they had to inform those students who were set to begin their course of study, look, we are now pausing this course. And all additional persons who were not yet contacted, they basically told them, because of what transpired, you will be contacted for the next cycle. So that is where we are. And what is this? What is the end result of this? The end result is that we have 3 levels of nursing. We have the auxiliary nursing staff, the supportive nursing staff, and the professional nursing staff. The professional nursing staff are those RNs, RM, registered nurses, registered mental nurses, and all the specialized nurses. So currently we only have USC and UE training persons in those fields, registered nurse and to a lesser extent, registered mental nurse. The specialized nurses, we have no school as we speak training specialized nurses, because COSTAATT was tasked and probably given the funding to roll out those specialized nursing courses that the Ministry of Education used to deliver. So whereas we face a severe shortage of nurses in Trinidad and Tobago, registered nurses, registered mental nurses, we have a further shortage, and even worse shortage, I would dare say, of specialized nurses. So this is why the association, when we were making the argument, it makes no sense trying to open a Coover Children's Hospital, which would require pediatric nurses, pediatric doctors, neonatal nurses, neonatal doctors. We don't have any school training those persons as we speak, and we're already short to man the existing areas. The next level with the auxiliary nurses, which is the enrolled nursing assistants who have to work in direct under the supervision of the registered nurse. We don't have any school training nursing assistants as we speak. And this course was supposed to fill that gap. Unfortunately, this course has been hopefully temporarily suspended. Hopefully it comes on soon. I heard the president, Dr. Keith Nurse of COSTAATT, speaking, look, we have been getting approvals for all our courses over the years from ACTT, so we can't understand what is the delay with the Nursing Council, why it's taking so long, a year and a half, to get this approval. But what we have been churning out, what COSTAATT has been churning out, is the patient care assistance, which is the end. Well, I wouldn't say entry level, but the floor level. Generally, persons would see them as geriatric nurses in private care homes, but there are a number of school training that category, so that is never really in short supply. But
Idi, are there new boards? Yeah, sorry.
Sure.
Are there new boards in all the health, in the entire health sector now, since the change of government?
Yes, all the boards in the RHAs have been filled as we speak.
Yeah, no, I also know that you all would have had, for want of a better word, a contentious relationship with the last minister and some of the last boards and so on. What is it like with this new minister? Have you all met with him as yet? Have you all expressed your concerns, which seems to be a carry through over time? The change of government has not changed much. What's the relationship like?
Yeah, well, this particular issue is not really specific with the Ministry of Health. This is directly related to the Nursing Council, ACT, and COSTAATT. So this is really external to the Ministry of Health. But with this particular Minister of Health, and the boards only probably last month or a month and a half ago, they were appointed. So we really haven't begun any real interactions with the boards really. So, but with regards to the minister, one must remember the Minister of Health, even in his budget presentations, relied heavily on the statements coming from the association over the years and would have contacted the association on a number of his speaking points within budget. So he's fully aware of what is transpiring within nursing and the healthcare setting. And we have had a good working relationship with the Minister of Health. We hope it continues. We know once person's getting to office, it's a different mindset, unfortunately sometimes. But so far, so good that the minister have attempted to make good on his words. And I would want to reiterate one of the things that we saw. Is that in the lead up to the elections, you would have heard the UNC making statements that, 400 and something plus doctors were trained and they are not yet employed. However, we have in excess of 1,600 plus nursing vacancies, 1,600 plus nursing vacancies confirmed by the Ministry of Health and the RHAs. In fact, in a recent Joint Select Committee, every single CEO made that remark that they are critically short of nursing and midwifery personnel. And I always remind persons that every single commission of inquiry into the health sector have commented on that issue too, that is one of the major issues, if not the major issue, cited in every single commission of inquiry, the shortage of nursing. And thankfully, once the minister came into office, he made a statement about 2 months ago indicating his first priority would be to fill those nursing vacancies which currently exist. So there's no vacancies for doctors. There are a number of doctors that we have trained in excess of how much we need. This is general doctors I'm speaking about. We definitely need a lot more specialist doctors. That is something we are short of. But in terms of general doctors, we have a plethora of general doctors and a plethora of general doctors waiting to be employed, but there are no vacancies. We have the vacancies within nursing. So we are thankful that he has recognized that and he has shifted his purpose of his government to indicate that they will focus on filling those nursing vacancies before they start to deal with trying to find employment for those 400 plus doctors. Yeah. So that is a good sign.
Yeah. With the situation that you have identified at COSTAATT and the training and everything that you have identified, in a real sense, for the average person who is going to the hospital right now, what does that mean for them, and what kind of strain is it causing on the healthcare system now by all of these shortages and stuff? What is it in real term? What is it like?
Well, I like to use real life examples. The PAHO report into the deaths of the NICU babies, their number one issue that they would have highlighted, the number one issue that PAHO, an international organization responsible with technical knowledge and wisdom in terms of healthcare, the number one reason they highlighted for the deaths of those babies was the shortage of nursing personnel on that unit, the shortage of nursing personnel. That is irrefutable. Anyone can go to that PAHO report as we speak and see that. That is just less than a year ago. And it has not gotten better a year ago. So we still have the same situation that existed when those babies died. We still have that situation today. I can't understand anyone will feel comfortable in with that evidence that is before us. I will give our next example. The recent death of the Jason, the 6-year-old in San Fernando. After doing and we put out a release, a press release on the matter after quickly determining some of the factors that surround that issue. Couple factors led to that incident, which I won't go in, but the one I would definitely want to go in is to let people know the nurse who was involved is a junior nurse, a year and a half, which we consider junior nurse. Yes? The nurse was not trained in pediatric nursing. And in the ward that the nurse was working on was short. So it didn't have that level of oversight for that junior nurse. So 3 areas. So when we talk about patient to staff ratio, and it's something we want to ensure is adopted in Trinidad and Tobago, is a mandatory patient to staff ratio, a mandatory nurse to patient ratio. Worldwide, if you do any type of Google search, you don't even need to do an in-depth search or even AI search, one would see the number one reason for deaths, avoidable deaths, the number one reason worldwide for avoidable deaths is inadequate nurse to patient ratio. Yeah, and I don't even want to get into some of the other risks that could happen when you don't have the required nurse to patient ratio attending to patients on the ward. So that is one. And then you also have a number of mobility issues. So it will lead to falls. It will lead to bed sores. It will lead to delays in treatment. It will lead to incorrect medication being given, and because the persons are burnt out, they have to hustle, they can't do all their checks. It will lead to so many things, and it's not Trinidad and Tobago alone, it is worldwide. Wherever you have inadequate nursing personnel, it leads to loss of life. When you have and that is it really comes down to that. So we, and in a context now where we don't have a single nursing school delivering these programs, there's UE who previously offered the oncology nursing program, of which I attended the trip. But UE, when they put out that ad, only about 3 persons offered themselves to be part of that program, and they couldn't run an entire 2-year program with 3 persons. The reason why a number of nurses didn't go into that field, well, it's quite strenuous And then at the end of that 2-year program, when you get your qualification as an oncology nurse, and you have to spend your money because it's not sponsored by the states. You have to spend upwards of 40,000 to do that particular degree, that master's. So you have to spend that 40,000, and then what do you get out of it? You get the shocking and startling amount of $420 as a specialist oncology nurse in Trinidad and Tobago. $420. So nurses are not seeing the cost when they do their own cost-benefit analysis. The government does cost-benefit analysis. Private sector does their cost-benefit analysis. And I'm sure your radio station will do their own cost-benefit analysis. What would it make sense investing thousands of dollars that you could probably use for something else into a program to get $420 when the day comes? And it's not. So that is one of the things we met with the Honorable Minister of Tertiary Education, Professor Prakash Prasad. And I would dare say, if there was any person who we would want in the seat, who has the knowledge, the experience of tertiary education, the foresight, is Professor Prakash Prasad. He's very knowledgeable in the area, and it was one of the first meetings I went to with a minister, and he already understands a number of the areas and has come in with possible solutions, not all of which we agree with, but it was really eye-opening and something unusual for us to come into a situation. Normally we put persons, square pegs in wrong holes. Probably you just need a level head and
common sense.
But clearly, that particular minister, Professor Prakash Prasad, has run under the radar, because I don't even remember the name.
Really?
The fact that there's a position called Ministry of Tertiary Education in this particular government.
See, I believe he was a senator before, and also he was former head of UTT, head of UE. So he have a wide range of skills, and some of a lot of patents, a number of things are under his belt, and he's very down to earth. He's not abrasive. He listens, and that is all really an association and a union really wants from a minister. Someone who understands the ministry, and you don't have to be teaching them from day one and trying to convince them that this is the acceptable standard. You want a minister who understands the area. And I don't want to go back to the last Minister of Health, but it was very difficult to convince and educate, I don't even want to say educate, but try to relate to a minister who never really worked in the public sector. And worse yet, never worked within the RHAs. And you have to try to get them to understand some of these nuances that they, coming out of a private sector pharmacy, trying to understand the public sector, it will take a steep learning curve. And if you are someone who is not willing to listen and take advice, you would go off on your own tirade, and your entire term will be wasted.
Well, you must share Professor Prakash Prasad's number with us, so because we would really love to speak with him. But Idi, do we still have a problem with us training and qualifying nurses here, and then they leaving and going abroad to other lucrative territories?
Well, that will never stop, That will never stop. That is something ongoing. And because what is making it worse is that we continue to remain on 2013 salaries. So that is definitely high on the agenda of the association, put to the Minister of Health. We still continue to work on 2013 salaries in 2025. So that is making it worse. What is making it worse too, because of the international push and for safe patient care through nurse to patient ratio, which is taking place across the world because they have seen the benefits of it. Other nations, particularly the US and other territories, are implementing mandatory patient to staff ratio. So for them to achieve those mandatory requirements, some of which have been legislated, they have to find these persons. So it's no longer an option for them. They have to find additional nursing personnel. So they are going to countries like Trinidad and Tobago, which with their native tongue being English, we are first priority on their list within the Caribbean for them to be absorbed. So it is only getting worse, and as they try to keep their nursing personnel, because people are leaving nursing in the US and all that because it's very difficult. It's a very strenuous job. You generally don't have a good work-life balance because it's so short. A number of those nurses, while they make good money, they have to work very long hours overtime because they have to maintain these safe patient staff ratios. So they continue to increase their salaries to retain their nursing complement. Ironically, in Trinidad and Tobago, we don't do anything. We just allow nurses to leave. So we are not doing anything to stem that tide. The urgency is not really seen in Trinidad and Tobago as it is being seen internationally. So with lucrative offers, it continues. And that is one of the things we demonstrated to the Minister of Tertiary Education, Professor Prakash Prasad. We need to redirect resources within our training areas, move away resources from training pharmacists, training which is in an oversupply in Trinidad and Tobago, and we have a number of pharmacists. Either your family have money for you to open your own pharmacy, or you're going to work for that conglomerate that is forcing a number of closures of smaller pharmacies. We have an oversupply of doctors, which you end up having doctors doing other jobs in the interim until the RHA calls them. Oversupply. We have an oversupply of vets. Most vets have to leave the shores of Trinidad and Tobago to get employment because we are not really that type of culture as yet that, we always take our pets to the vet. So we have oversupply of that. So we need to say, look, if we have an oversupply of these things, it doesn't make sense. We investing our funds. If you still want to go and be a vet or a pharmacist or any of these things, then you take your own money and do it or be subsidized. But it cannot be we take in gate resources to train people in fields that we have an oversupply of. And then on the flip side, we don't have enough nursing personnel. We have the vacancies, and you are not investing in these areas. It's third world thinking, in my opinion. Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
I know that we are about to close off the interview, but I must ask you, and I hope you can answer, your opinion on the reports that are coming that Dr. Roshan Parashram, the Chief Medical Officer of Health, is being asked or forced to resign. Those are the reports coming. You have any comment on that?
Well, I can't even contemplate that. I can't even contemplate such a thing happening. It will be the first, to my knowledge, that something like that, somebody who is a government staff, this is not a political appointment. I mean, I can't even contemplate that happening, and that must be condemned if that is actually happening. But I can't even contemplate that happening. Dr. Roshan Parashram has always been very professional in all his statements, all his actions. It will send a chilling signal to everybody else working within senior government positions that this could happen. I mean, the only person that possibly may be shifted around based on ministers' preferences is the permanent secretary sometimes. and they would just go to another ministry to work as a permanent secretary. It's never that they are totally moved. And I can't see if you move the chief medical officer, he could go to any other ministry. So, I mean, that will be a definite cause of concern for the association. I mean, there are things that we would not always agree on with Dr. Roshan Parashram, but we cannot see that you would take such actions. And I would, well, I definitely won't hope. I hope that is not actually factual. I really hope that.
So it may just be a rumor then.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah.
Just before you go, Edy, as you mentioned earlier on the PAHO report, from where you all sit, what has been happening where that is concerned?
In San Fernando, or which one is speaking?
The one with the concerning the babies in the NICU and what transpired there. What has been happening with that report?
Well, that report has gone to the usual place all reports go to, which is on a shelf and gather dust. It's nothing unusual. There's little to no change. A few things were done when it was in the news, in the media, just prior to the PAHO team coming to Trinidad and Tobago to do their on-the-ground assessment. The usual thing happened, everything looks spick and span. And the ironic thing is, even with the rush to get things organized prior to the PAHO on-the-ground team, because there were several teams actually looking at the issue, but the on-the-ground team that came, even with the RHA getting things organized and trying to put things in place, trying to make it look as best as possible, because these persons are so skilled, they were still able to identify much more fundamental problems, which still currently exist. You can't really fool those persons. Those persons, you can't give a system appearance.
Yeah. I know what happens when you're using your phone.
No, it's a bad time to be calling me.
Just press decline or end.
Yes, sorry about that. Yeah. So nothing much has changed over time.
Okay. And what about the new block for the Port of Spain General Hospital? What has been happening? Whereas are you guys monitoring to see how it's coming along and when it will be officially open?
Well, I don't know. I'm not sure where they're getting staff to operate that. Even as it is, it's short staff. So even if it opens, it will just be a couple wards, not the full block. And from what I'm hearing, I don't believe it is going to happen anytime soon. I'll be surprised if it takes place this year. And unfortunately, out of all the new institutions that were built, the Couva Hospital, Arima, Point Fortin, out of all of them, Roxborough, it was the Port of Spain block that should have been built first and operationalized first, because that was the critical one that was in need. But I guess again, we didn't get that right as a nation. Yeah.
But Dr. Rowley, I have to admit, did say that that really should have been treated as priority, which is why he prioritized it at that point in time. But it's a pity that a new building, a new block has gone up and not be put to use or can't be put to use. That'll be a pity.
I know you're extremely busy, but would you be able to take at least one or two calls from the people before you go, or do you have to leave immediately?
About 2 minutes, I can hold on.
Right. If you'd like, we'll take one or two calls very quickly for Mr. Stewart, 811-315. Right.
Yeah. Edie, just whilst we're waiting on a call, Sir Charles, you can interrupt me if you do get one.
The call is here.
You have one?
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Hello, good morning, caller.
Morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
So Charles, thanks for reminding me about that question, about that thing. It's not really a question for Edy Stewart, but it's just a reflection. Before when the PNM was about to open the facility, the new hospital, somebody went in, I don't remember who it was, and show a video. Look at that open, look at that nothing in it, and this and that and the other. You know, this government has taken over the reins. And you know, they have not gone into the hospital to prove that the hospital was really not stocked properly or anything like that. But from what you are saying, Mr. Stewart, there's a reason why it wasn't stocked properly, and the whole hospital cannot be opened and functional because we just don't have the staff and manpower to do that. Yes?
Yes. We just don't have the staff and manpower. The RHA Northwest have been trying, and they have been working with a number of the educational institutions to try to train and develop some of the staff, but it will be a Herculean task to get that full block operationalized. As I said, it will be a stage opening. That's the only way it could logically be open at this stage. Yeah.
Logically. Hello, good morning, caller, and thanks very much, Lincoln. Yes, caller, go ahead.
Good morning, Mr. Edy Stewart, sir. I wanted to ask you, is there a need still, and from your personal experience and your nurses, is there a need still, or do the Cuban doctors in Trinidad right now serve a critical role? Because, you know, we know for a fact that you have 400 doctors, we were told by this current administration, that need to be brought on the payroll. I don't understand why because of that, you still had to rely on bringing in folks from Cuba. And by the way, your former Minister of Health, look, he's a pharmacist. He don't have the expertise of the more qualified individuals who should have been the Minister of Health during the last administration. Your word on it, sir. God bless you. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, well, firstly, there's no vacancies for doctors as we speak. Actually, currently, a number of doctors have been lobbying me to represent them because they currently are working on some strange contract arrangements where they really have no benefits. So the ones that are in the system, they don't even have vacancies for them. So they are working on locum contracts. So they don't have a number of the benefits that a regular worker within the RHA would enjoy. So that is an issue also. So first they will need to create additional spots for those who are already in the system without a proper contract, and then extend it to, there's really not a major need. Those persons, we will always still need doctors because we are not churning out, as we said, the specialist doctors in Trinidad and Tobago. That's a whole different kettle of fish in terms of training specialist doctors. First begin, we don't have the capacity to train all the specialists we need. So most of them have to go abroad to be trained in unique specialties that UWI doesn't offer locally. And because UWI only offers a few, orthopedic and a few others. And to get into those orthopedic specialist programs, you need to have contacts. It's not anybody gets into those. It's a very close-knit fraternity. So
that is for this interview. that is something we have to talk in the next time we talk and find out.
Not anybody gets into that.
All right, okay. Any last words as you go, and then for this interview? Anything they just like to last share with us as we move?
Well, the main thing for the association is we are eagerly look forward to the reading of the 2026 budget, 2025 to 2026 budget, because it will send a clear signal to the association and the population if the government is really serious about fixing the fundamental and underlying issues within the health sector. And while we are confident and we have to be optimistic, we are guarded And we would definitely hold the Minister of Health and the Ministry of Health to account if they do not deliver on the promises contained within their own manifesto. We want to see evidence of that within the budget. Yeah. So we continue to do what we have to do. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Edy, for joining us on the Breakfast Show once again and enlightening us in what's happening in the health sector, more specifically the Nurses Association. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much for having me. Take care.
Yeah. Thank you, Edy. All right, so we go to 8 o'clock news, and then when we come back, we close off. Once again, we appreciate all the comments on the chat.
The news you need, the clarity you deserve. Local, regional, global. This is Net Radio News Now.
This is News Now on New Era TT Radio and Guile Caribbean. I'm Derek. Former Finance Minister Colm Imbert says he's concerned about reports that the 2025 to 2026 national budget could carry a deficit as high as $15 to $20 billion. Speaking after the PNM's General Council meeting in San Fernando, Imbert reminded that Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar had promised a balanced budget, but is now preparing another deficit fiscal package. He warned that if the figure crosses $4 to $5 billion, about 2 to 5% of GDP, the country's debt could skyrocket, as local banks are already overexposed to government borrowing. Imbert also questioned whether the projected deficit includes promises such as wage increases and billions in back pay, which could push the gap even higher. He added, "I thought they had all the answers, but let's hope the rumors aren't true." Pharmaceutical and chicken companies have topped the list of foreign exchange users who access the Exim Bank's special forex window since 2020. Documents reveal that from 2020 to mid-2025, the Exim Bank distributed $1.4 billion to 123 companies under its Essential Imports program. The top recipients were Aventa Trinidad and Tobago, formerly Smith Robertson, with over $100 million. Nutrimix Feeds with $178 million and Arawak with $176 million. Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar has ordered a full report on forex allocations, promising to expose what she calls cartels that control access. A new Exim Bank board is set to be appointed this month to shake things up and give small and medium-sized businesses fairer access. The Children's Authority of Trinidad and Tobago is urging citizens to open their hearts and homes as applications for foster care decline. Foster care unit manager Anjuli Tawari says there is a pressing need for families willing to provide safe, temporary homes for children, especially babies, teenagers, siblings, and those with special needs. Right now, there are 160 children in foster care, including 48 placed with relatives. But Tawari admits she is forced to turn down requests daily because there are not enough foster families. One woman answering the call is media professional Natasha Jones, who fostered a baby for 2 years during the pandemic. Jones admits the process was challenging, but says it gave a struggling family time to heal, while her own community gained valuable lessons. The authority is encouraging more families to step forward to give children a safe space while their parents rebuild their lives. A confidential legal opinion has cast serious doubt on the decade-old extradition case against former FIFA Vice President Jack Warner. The opinion, prepared by a senior counsel for the Attorney General, found that Warner's extradition was tainted by non-compliance with local law and misrepresentation. It concluded that the state's claim of a special arrangement with the United States never existed, despite repeated assurances to the courts. The advice said proceeding with extradition would be unlawful, an abuse of process, and could expose the state to damages. Warner, now 81, has lived under the threat of extradition since 2015 on U.S. corruption charges. The High Court will rule later this month. a special reserve police officer is being questioned in connection with the death of SRP Jamal Charles, who was fatally shot on duty Thursday at the Ministry of Rural Development and Local Government in Marival. Police say Charles and 2 other officers were inside a guard booth when 2 began playing with their firearms. A shot went off, striking Charles, who died on the spot. Charles, a married father of 1 from Petite Valley, was remembered as a committed family man. Local government minister Khadija Amin extended condolences and said Homeland Security Minister Roger Alexander has assured a full investigation. Finally, internationally, British boxing legend Ricky Hatton has died at the age of 46. Police say he was found at his home in Greater Manchester on Sunday, but his death is not considered suspicious. Hatton, known to fans as the Hitman, won 45 of his 48 professional bouts during a 15-year career, facing some of the sport's biggest names, including Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Manny Pacquiao. Tributes have poured in. Former champion Amir Khan called him a friend, a mentor, and a warrior, while unified champion Ely Stewart said Hatton's impact on boxing will forever live on. Manchester City, his beloved football club, held a minute of appreciation for him during Derby with Manchester United. And that's news at this time.
That was news now. Stay informed with new Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Don't miss Furniture Plus Inventory Blowout Sale. Get up to 65% off in-store and online. Enjoy massive savings on furniture, appliances, and more. Hurry, this deal won't last. Shop now and save big at Furniture Plus.
Charmflair Auto Services Limited, your one-stop auto repair shop. Located at number 1 Industrial Lane, Charmflair, right opposite the brewery on the Eastern Main Road. Yes, we do it all. Repairs to all makes and models, from your everyday sedan to SUVs, light trucks, pickups, and panel vans. We're also the sole distributors of Davantry tires, certified VTS inspection station, plus a wide range of services: oil change, front end and suspension repairs, tune-ups, tire alignment, batteries, electrical work, radiator and cooling system, AC repairs, and accessories galore. We offer pickup and drop-off service too. Call us today at 662-6545 or 662-6572. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Charmflair Auto Services Limited, number 1 Industrial Lane, Charmflair. We do it all.
So Charles, if it is at all possible to play that video that I just sent in the chat, it's very short.
You know, sending?
Yeah, I sent it to your email too. If it is that's based on the story.
Is the same thing with the PM?
Yes, and the army and the army that is expected to go to war first. It's a really funny TikTok. Trust me, people will enjoy it. You know, I know we have about 5-6 minutes left to the show. If it is at all possible, I'm sure it. Because tomorrow our guest, of course, will be Marvin Gonzalez, chairman of the People's National Movement. He will speak about the vote that was taken in Parliament on what they're calling the grandparent bill, because I think he explained it so well in a press conference, I think on Friday, that on Friday or Saturday, one of those days, he would have explained it in a press conference that wasn't clear in the newspaper article that preceded it, you know, to explain why the PNM voted against it. Because I too, when I saw it, I said, but why would the PNM vote against this? But it was explained as to why. And I thought, and we thought that people should have the benefit of that explanation. All right, and we'll talk some other stuff with him, of course. Right?
You know what we have not talked about also? That whole situation with the Jack Warner situation.
Yeah, but I've sent messages to Jack Warner because it's best to hear from him. He's never shied away from the media. So
I thought the opposition would have probably, wanted to think about that because, some real startling things are being said about the last Attorney General and credibility. And I mean, if what we are hearing is there's truth to it, I think they need to clear the air on some of those things.
Well, I don't know what you're referring to, but PNM was in power for 9.5. People keep saying 9. I'm saying 10 years, right? Just shy of a few months. And the Jack Warner issue was hardly ever an issue. So I don't know what's the issue really now. What is really the issue now about files not being found or whatever? I don't know what is the issue. I don't expect this government. I mean, after all, remember when Mrs. Prasad Bisesa and Jack Warner fell out badly and she called him all kind of things? He called her all kind of stuff and then say that he needs to clear his name before he comes back. Of course, he went back there in the last campaign and kept the UNC. So you see, me and politicians, Sir Charles, I am so wary now. I mean, I haven't been in the belly of the beast. Not really in the belly yet, but having practiced as a politician for 20 odd years. I am so wary now of anything politicians say and do. I really couldn't see myself surviving in politics, They would have been calling on me to step down every day, I can't understand and deal with that level of hypocrisy. I'm very sorry. Very, very sorry. I've gotten more intolerant as I get older. Of hypocrisy and selfishness and ungratefulness, I've gotten a lot more intolerant of it. I don't want to hear you. I don't want to be part of your circle. Leave me alone, if that is the case.
Yeah.
You understand?
But just, but if there's where that is concerned, it's about like the extradition, and if there was something that was supposed to be there that is not there, and if it was a fabricated something, and who and how, and I mean, then it happened.
I don't know that anything was fabricated against Jack Warner. You understand? Because I don't know that anything was fabricated. I don't know that he has ever said that he has never done the things he was accused of doing. But it balances off. I mean, where you see America, when you run afoul of America, they will do and say anything to destroy you. We have seen that, not just with Jack Warner, with anybody. You remember this guy with cricket in Antigua, Alan Stanford?
Of course.
They went after him, and they got him. They put him in shackles and an orange suit and locked him away. You understand? Once you run afoul of them, trust me.
Yeah, but you say there's with this claim of some special arrangement with the U.S. And I mean that goes straight back to the last Attorney General and under Mr. Faris Alwari, because I remember the courts is saying and apparently this arrangement that they say was in place. Apparently nobody knows about it. They can't find it, and I mean, so they're saying like some of the courts, the Privy Council, a couple other courts that they talked about, if the last AG, and which would probably talk him towards the government, talking about this special arrangement, and if it really existed, so I think in a situation like that, I think it's something that. See that they were in the administration at that point in time, and the last AG, and I mean, there are plenty of things coming out of it. I think they should really try and address it. I don't see them not. I thought actually they would have addressed it in some way, but we say go. Anyhow, I think I have your video.
Yes, let's take a quick look.
I repeat, should Venezuela invade Guyana, Trinidad and Tobago will definitely step forward in defense of our cousins or brothers and sisters in the CARICOM.
She love Batman. Batman. She love Batman. She She love bad man. Bad man. She love bad man. Bad man. She love bad man.
You can see them going to war.
Yeah.
I find that video so funny. You really feel these fellas we have in our army. We want to go to
But
any war.
if we, I don't know if it really reaches that point where we have to end up in some war or something. Trinidad and
We don't stand a chance.
and we ain't going on our own. We can't talk on our own.
As much as I love my country and I have faith in my country, we don't stand a chance.
Yeah.
Let's hope it never reaches to that.
Yeah,
Because
I mean,
them fellas that them you see where you see damn man doing that, them love that. All of us love that. All of us love that actually.
Because in a way, when we pull out our hard military for independence, all you see us on display, right?
A bacco.
Hey,
a bacco.
When you see we pull out the hard military lineup for independence. Oh Lord.
Well, let's leave our army alone. Please do not provoke them. Let them do what they do. Enjoy their life. Enjoy the little stipend every month.
Yeah, just as there's
Don't
go to support
involve them in any war, unnecessary war. We are a peaceful country. We don't want war. We don't live for war. Leave us alone, please. Okay?
Yeah. The region really doesn't need anything like that. Yeah? That is a destabilizing factor for the region. Anytime we reach in a situation like that, yeah? Yeah, I mean, so many things will be affected. Trade and everything, people's survival skills. I mean, that is something the region really don't want to have to deal with.
Yeah, somebody cleverly married that video of the Prime Minister speaking together with that video to create a TikTok, and we just found it funny. So we hope you enjoyed it too, right? Don't take it serious, okay? All right, folks. Have an absolutely wonderful day tomorrow. As I say, our guest Marvin Gonzalez, and of course Richard will be back because he would have gotten a day's rest after. Oh Lord, Richard could talk, boy. Jeez, all ages. Talk. Richard, talk. What's in that play? Folks, see you tomorrow. Please God, have an.
You talk plenty within the play.
What?
Oh, okay.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
But the star of that play, in my humble opinion, is the young lady, the slim Akai and Bettina. What's her name, boy? Anyway, when Richard comes tomorrow, he'll tell us.
The foul.
She was good.
She was the foul.
She was the she was the housekeeper. Well, she must have been, nah, she ain't the foul. They had real foul in that play.
Yeah.
What? Foul cock. Richard was one.
But that's just oh Lord, we hear about
See you tomorrow.
All right, so people stay on the feed here. Remember, after we come off of Gael on the TV feed, we continue on New Era ttradio.com. We stream all day, every day, right? And of course, on TuneIn, you can get us there. And we'll be back, God's willing, tomorrow morning at 6 for the breakfast show.
Wake up, it's a brand new dawn. The breakfast show got the vibes turned on. From Maracas Bay to the Savannah line, let's start the day in Caribbean prime. Oh, good vibes rolling through the air. The breakfast show